Hello there, I'm Professor Rad, and today we're going to talk about proper fractions, improper fractions, and mixed numbers. Our focus here, since we're just learning about these kinds of objects, is to go between the different types using images. So we'll be drawing out some more fraction-y pictures, and in the future we'll learn some more techniques to get more precise answers. But for right now, we're going to focus on using imagery for our comparisons here. So let's start out by defining each of those three things I just mentioned. A proper fraction is a fraction in which the numerator is less than the denominator. A proper fraction is a fraction that's less than 1. It's when you don't eat the entire candy bar. You are very nice and proper, and you leave some for your younger sibling. It might not be very much, but you have nice proper manners there. If a fraction is not proper, then it's called an improper fraction. So an improper situation would be you ate the entire candy bar yourself, or you ate more than a candy bar. You started digging into their share. Okay? So an improper fraction is when the top number is bigger than the bottom number, or the top and the bottom are the same. So if you wanted to add those little notes here, you could. So in a proper fraction, the top is smaller than the bottom. Or, to use the specific language, the numerator is less than the denominator. Whereas for an improper fraction, here the top is the same or bigger than the bottom. Or, using the correct terminology, you could say the numerator is greater than or equal to the denominator. Now, if you're baking, you're less likely to hear somebody say, use, 5/4 of a cup of sugar. You're more likely to hear them say something like, use 1.25 cups or 1 1/4 cups of sugar. So when you hear a mixture of a whole number like that, 1 cup, along with a fraction, 1/4, then you're using what's called a mixed number. Because it's a mixture of whole numbers and fractions. It represents the sum, so you're adding together a whole number and a proper fraction. So a mixed number is a whole number mixed together with a proper fraction. So let's see what these look like if we envision them. For part A, it says to write the number represented by the image below in both fraction and mixed number form. So I'm going to do mixed number first because I think it's a little bit easier to think in terms of mixed numbers at first, and then we'll talk about it in fraction form. So let's say that these are candy bars. You know what? Let's say that these are candy bars, and I broke them off into each of their pieces. So I had 4 candy bars I brought to school, and I broke each of them up into 6 pieces. And then the grayed out pieces are all the pieces that I gave away at school, let's say. So it looks like I used, or people ate up, 3 entire candy bars. So the mixed number form, we have 3 entire candy bars that were eaten. And then in the last candy bar, there was 1 piece out of the 6 that got eaten. So there was 1 piece out of the 6 that got eaten. So this mixed number would be 3 and 1/6. Remember, the bottom number represents how much each candy bar is broken up into, and the top number represents how many of those pieces got eaten. Now, when we go to do this for fraction format, When I look at it in fraction format, I want to know how many pieces each candy bar is broken up into. That tells me the denominator. So the denominator for this problem is 6 for my improper fraction. It's 6 because each of these candy bars was broken up into 6 pieces. So it's not all the pieces total, it's all the pieces that make up one candy bar. Okay, so there were 6 pieces per candy bar. For the numerator, I'm going to count up each of those squares. So how many of those little squares did I give away? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. What this means is that the fraction 19/6 and the mixed number 3 1/6 are equal to each other. I use this kind of thing all the time when I'm baking because I'm the sort of person who tends to lose measuring cups. I don't know why, but it happens to me. So probably won't be measuring stuff in sixths. So let's just say quarters. I might have a quarter cup, but maybe the recipe calls for, 3 1/4 cups of flour. So I could think about what that would look like. Within each cup are 4 quarters. So I could take that mixed number 3 1/4 and turn it into an improper fraction to know how many fourths I would need. Or in this case, if the recipe called for 3 1/6 cups of flour and I only had a 1/6 measuring cup, then I would know I would need 19/6 total. So I would scoop 19 of those scoops in. All right, so let's look at part B and C, and we're gonna go from mixed number into improper fraction form, and we'll go from improper fraction into mixed number form. So let's start out with part B. To begin drawing this mixed number, I'm going to figure out how many whole shapes I need. So the 5 1/4 means that we ate 5 entire things. So I'm going to make pizzas. So I'm going to have 5 entire pizzas. And then the 1/4 means I ate a part of the last pizza. So I need 5 pizzas for the whole big number, and then I need an extra pizza for this little piece that I ate. So I have 6 whole shapes. Then the denominator of the mixed number tells me how many pieces those pizzas are going to get cut up into. For example, when we did part A up here, notice that the denominator of the mixed number and the denominator of the fraction were the same. That's because each of these pieces or candy bars, I guess, were cut up into the same number of pieces. They were all cut up into 6. So here, all of these pizzas are going to be cut up into 4 equal-sized pieces. Next, we're going to shade these in. I have to shade in 5 entire pizzas. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then just 1 out of the remaining 4 pieces. So that's my picture for 5 1/4. To write it as an improper fraction, now I'm going to do what we did up here to get the 19/6. I'm going to count up how many pieces total are shaded and how many pieces are there per pizza. So each pizza we cut up into 4 pieces, so the denominator is going to stay 4. And then for the numerator, I've got to count up each of those pieces. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So this means that 5 1/4 is the same as 21/4. All right, For this next one, we're basically doing the same thing, but in the opposite direction. We're going to write out the mixed number, we're going to write out the improper fraction, draw it out, and then convert it into a mixed number. Now, one of the downsides to starting with an improper fraction is I don't know how many whole pizzas I need to have. I just know that each of them is broken up into 5 pieces. So I'm going to go one pizza at a time, and I'm going to cut each one up into 5 pieces. And you could do candy bars or sandwiches or whatever, just as long as you're cutting them up into about the same size for each piece. So let's do 5 here. Maybe I shouldn't have done the pizza here. Yeah, that is not right at all. So let's do 1. Okay, think like a star. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Kind of close. I'll get better here. So we've got to shade in 13 total pieces. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we haven't gotten to 13 yet. So we're going to draw another shape, split it up into 5 pieces. That's better, right? And we're going to keep counting till we get to 13. So this had 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Not to 13 yet. So another pizza. All right, so we're up to 10, 11, 12, 13. Stop. So we've reached our numerator of 13 when we've shaded in our pieces. So we can stop now. And then we're going to write it as a mixed number. So I noticed we had 2 entire pizzas or 2 whole pies. And then for the fraction, each pie was cut up into 5 pieces. And we ate 1, 2, 3 of those pieces. So 13/5 is the same as 2 3/5. All right, so there we go. If you want to change from either a mixed number into an improper fraction or from an improper fraction into a mixed number, you can do that by drawing a picture. It's a little bit easier to draw a picture for a mixed number, at least I think it is a little bit, because you know how many shapes you need to start with. In this case, you need 5 plus 1 extra for the pieces. If you have an improper fraction, just go one at a time. And if you need to add more because you haven't reached the top number of pieces yet, just keep adding until you get what you need. Okay, so I've got 3 Now You Try problems for you to try. So for the first one, you're going to write that picture both as a mixed number as well as an improper fraction. For part B, you're going to write that mixed number in improper fraction form. And for part C, you're going to write that improper fraction as a mixed number. That's going to conclude chapter 5A. So I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye for now, everybody.